Hi guys, I am so excited that this live-action Toy Story show and tell series thing has kind of caught on a bit. I have two more in mind for you guys to enjoy. First up, these aliens. Actually, this one was not in the movie. He just looks good together. I didn't buy the collection pack with 3 of them because that's like $50 back then. It's like $200 now. So crazy. They're the collection version that you can buy singly, like in one pack. And so what I did was buy them when they were like $10. So altogether, collectively cheaper, right? You'll notice that the collection version, they're kind of big. If they were hanging in the rearview mirror of the Pizza Planet truck, that'd be very view obstructing. So the ones that I have in my truck are a bit smaller. But compared to, say, Mr. Potato Head, they're about the right size. They're pretty hard, which was a downside because they didn't squeak at all. But in the bottoms, they had this fake squeaker. I'll show you this one. It's got this fake squeaker, just a hole in the bottom to be movie accurate, right, with the model. But there's no squeaker in it. So what I did was bought some squeakers from like some dog toys, took them out and drilled a hole and put them in. So these have squeakers. They're just not soft enough to actually squeak. I can try. See what I mean? But if they were, say, in Phoenix and kind of hot and melty, then they squeaked actually pretty well. In the movie, we used these big ones, but we also used a lot of smaller ones that are about this big because Jesse's brother Michael had a collection of a bunch of tiny ones like this big. So we put those up close to the camera so that they're larger, and then if any of them are interacting with Buzz or Woody, it's the bigger ones. Makes sense, right? This Mr. Potato Head I've had since I was a youngin'. There is a collection version of Potato Head. He moves around and talks and his parts fly off and all sorts of features that you don't really care about when you have a Mr. Potato Head that is made to be Mr. Potato Head. The collection version doesn't open the back, and that's a useful feature that actually occurs in the movie. His eyes are one piece, as they've always been, except in movie universe where they come in 2. So, for scenes in the movie where we had he loses one eye or they're separate in some parts, I cut one of them in half. So, this is just one eye that can now go into his head. And I think the other half is in there. There you go. There it is. So, if he's supposed to have one eye at a time in, then that's what I did. There aren't any potato heads that exist, as far as I know, that have 2 separate eye hole slots. There are people that have made their own, but I'm not one of them. His eyes are a little scuffed up, and I don't know why I never fixed them. I'm actually going to do that right now. Hang on. There. It's a little better. So there we have Mr. Potato Head. Ham that was used in live-action Toy Story is from Kellogg's cereal. Back when Toy Story 3 was out, around the exact same time that we started making this movie, there was cereal that you could collect the points and mail them in and get the stuff. Well, I collected all the points because I love cereal, and that was easy, and got me some ham. He's a good size. He's a little small compared to how he is in the movie, but I like how he is that he's hard plastic, he's durable, and he can hold coins. Which, what else would you really want a piggy bank to do? The cork is not real. I suppose I could just buy a real cork that fit here, but I didn't. So there you go. Rex is not the collection version, but the second to the best collection version. He's a little tiny compared to the collection version of Rex, but he does things like, move around, which is all we really needed him to do. The collection version of Rex talks all the time, as you may have learned from the Buzz or Woody episode of this. They just talk, so this version doesn't have that flaw. And he looks good, and he's easy to display because he's not huge. Lastly, Slinky Dog. I know it's hard to believe, but his Slinky did break during the making of this movie. He was stretched out a little too far. You may think it was from this scene where he's literally being stretched out as far as he could, but no. Filming out the side of a car that was moving, Jesse was hanging onto the toys with a fishing line so that they would stretch back a good distance and stay into frame. the fishing line got caught on a car that we were walking past, which the car that we were in kept going, which pulled Slinky and doink, 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 his slank its final slunk. But what I ended up doing was ripping the Slinky out and putting in a new one, which is actually a real longer Slinky. I also cut out the string because that kind of kept him together like a functional toy, but for purposes of our movie, it was better that he didn't have a string inside of him. Also, the string coming out the middle of his head, cut that out too for the purposes of movie beautification. So now he stretches a lot farther. My sister bought him for me at Disneyland as a gift. And that's it for the backup cast of Toy Story. We have one more of these in mind, so stay tuned and see one last show and tell video. So comment, subscribe, all that junk, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks, bye.